Well, X dropped Look at Me, and then that sort of started a meteoric rise.
Yeah, Look at Me was out for 2 years. People got to realize that, you know what I mean, before it initially took off. I think the duality of, you know, the shit that was surrounding his name really pushed him to the next barrier as far as that, you know, dealing with the cases and shit like that really shed light, and he really transgressed that light into a positive light, you know what I mean, and did his thing as far as that.
And even his name, I remember I had to wait until this. He did one interview on some Miami station where he explained it, because like, you know, I interviewed Boosie and he calls him Extension.
Oh, Extension, yeah. People get it confused. It's really XXXTentacion. It means unknown temptation. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what it means?
Yeah, that's what it means.
I had no idea
and
until
XXX
now.
is because he like was obsessively with porn. That's why he was Young Dagger Dick. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Young Dagger Dick.
That was his first name?
Nah, that was his porn. When he bought them hoes, that's what you had to call him, Young Dagger Dick. Young Dagger Dick.
All righty then.
You learned something new today.
I learned something new today.
Yeah. The man, the legend.
All right, so
you fucked a lot of bitches. All right,
I bet. So Look at Me drops, and then he dropped 17, which elevated up, and then he dropped Question Mark, which really went through the roof. Became the #1 album out of all the albums that dropped. And I remember when it dropped, I went on Spotify. And the whole album was on the charts. Like literally saw #1 through like 15 was X. Like every song from the album.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, seeing that phenomenon from within the circle, what was that like?
Man, really seeing it from a bird's eye view, it really took for us to be on the outside of the core to actually see it. Like, you feel me? Me moving out the house and like, damn, like, this shit, he's really that. Like, he really broke those barriers, like, of music, diversity, and him, you know, adding cadence to his crowd that he was catering to. It was just phenomenal. Like, seeing 17 do 80,000 in a week to 100,000, that was amazing at that time, you know what I mean? And I'm fresh around him, so it's like, it was just amazing, bro. Simply amazing. I can't even explain it.
I bet.
He's a genius. He was a genius. He understood.
So by 2018, were you guys around him all the time, or was he just kind of doing his own thing?
But at that time, he had bought the big house, you know. It was just a lot going on, you know. And when he popped out the big events, he'd grab me and Roach. You seen us at Rolling Loud, play football. I was always there.
Slap boxing, whatever.
You know what I mean? I understood, like, dealing with so many things at that time, at that level. Not only your emotions, the individuals around you, you got major priorities now. You're taking care of your whole family. Like, I understood. So it's like, you know, we all went about our own thing. I'm grown, you know, we grown. So when bro parked up to main events, that's when I was there. So that's how I went.
Did you guys know his mom?
Yeah, Cleo, yeah.
You guys were close? That was like your mom in a way?
Yeah,
like,
we got the same birthday, matter of fact, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is his mom taking the fame? I mean, her son's fame, that is.
What do you mean?
Like, how is she sort of adjusting to her son now being a superstar?
As far as like now?
No, back then.
It was just big for her too. Like, I can't really speak on like how she would view it, but I can only imagine like what she was dealing with.
Right, because he bought her a big house.
Yeah.
And everything. Trips.
He spoiled his mama. He loved Cleo, so nobody can ever take that away from
his chest.
He got it tatted across his chest, so all that talk, you know, people be talking all this nuisance on the internet, oh, this, milk that. That man loved his mama to death. One thing about it, Cleo, he was going to make sure she was good, and she's still continuously making sure she's good. And things she's doing for the community should not be overlooked.
Yeah.
She's doing the toy drives every year, making sure the fellas is good, like doing shit she don't have to do. You know what I mean?
Right, because he was on his own from like 15 or something like that.
He was really out here, yeah.
He left the house. Yeah. I don't know if he got kicked out or not, but
it was just a lot going on.
Yeah, I bet.
Around that time.
Well, because she was a very young mom to begin with, right? She had him like as a teenager, I think.
Yeah, he was really staying with his grandparents at that time. Yeah, his nana raised him.
Yeah, I mean, he talked about kind of like the rough upbringing he had.
So, but he loved his mama. One thing about it, nobody can ever take that away.
That's dope. Yeah. Okay, so here you are. You guys are both friends with this superstar at this point. He's building up. I think he signed some huge record deal. And then on June 18th, he goes out by himself to go buy a motorcycle, I guess.
Yeah.
Was he generally going out by himself? Or did he have security with him?
Man, sometimes he didn't understand the magnitude of how famous he was. He was driving around like a regular pedestrian. If it was up to me, I'd be on him 24/7 and have people on him 24/7. But when you're that humble at that peak, like that just shows you what type of individual he was. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm gonna ride out by myself, not thinking nothing to happen. You know what I mean? Because initially, when I got the call, and when I seen it, I was in Atlanta. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, and then I landed, and Roach met me at the airport.
That was one of the worst days of my life. Yep. Calling him in Georgia with that was like,
yeah.
Cause X used to pull up by himself on us a lot. Like in Miami, he pulled up by himself. I tapped the window, but why you pulling up by yourself? He'll be like, nobody messing with me, bro. Like just like that. Cause he felt like
it was his biddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and this always reverberates in my interviews. Me and Boosie did this interview a while back, and he said, most rappers get killed in their home city.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
And he started going down the list of like 10 different rappers.
Yeah.
And every year we have to add to that list.
That's where the hate comes from.
And X unfortunately got added to that list because it happened in his hometown essentially, right?
Yeah, hometown, but really initially like not really in our region. In the region, but not in the region.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of like, oh yeah, this is where he from, because he from my side, you feel me? So it ain't happening on our side of the grid. It happened, you feel me, over there. But that still doesn't make it an acceptance. You feel me saying? As far as that, like that shit is unacceptable.
Well, along with him getting killed, you had a bunch of people with video cameras, with video phones that were literally filming his dead body in the car, as opposed to calling an ambulance or trying to help him. Like when you guys did you guys see that video? Those videos?
Yeah. Actually,
I made everybody. I ain't gonna lie. I'm the one who made everybody take him down. If you really want to get technical, I made everybody take him down. Like if you realize none of them pages exist today, like so I understand my power. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of things that I do behind the shadows that a lot of people don't do. When I first seen that video, that's when Roach told me, "Oh, you gotta go live." That's when I first landed. He's like, "Bro, you gotta take initiative to this situation. I know you don't want to be on no internet shit." But he's like, you gotta.
This is bigger than
let
that.
him know it's bigger than us. You feel what I'm saying? And obviously, me being with him day to day, people want to hear my voice, so I had to take a stance for that. But once I seen the videos, like I made sure, like I got my hackers, my team to take the videos down, cause like that shit was sick. Cause them people really could have did something to maybe alter him, and he probably would have still been here instead of recording, trying to get clout. But that just shows you what type of times we living in now.
Did both of you cry when you heard the news?
Of course.
Of course, man.
I actually couldn't even make it to the funeral. I got sick, but of course, I cried because I had to call him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing. Like you don't wake up and actually Ski Mask went live with me in Miami.
Yeah, in Miami. Ski, they got on live.
I'm in Miami. I'm at Avatar Mall shopping with me and Keys, and Ski going live. He like, bro, you feel me? X got shot. Go check. I'm like, where? I don't even know where at the time. Then when I go on the internet, that's when I go to Bruno's house, and everybody's at Bruno's house, and then that's when we heard it on the news, and it was just chaos in the sense of foreign, like, people couldn't really believe it. Like, still to this day, we don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because we still feel like his energy here. We'll see 17 so many times. It's like, it's bigger than what it really is. You know what I'm saying?
The guys that killed him, they're still awaiting trial. Florida has the death penalty. If they both got the death penalty, would that make you feel a sense of closure or not really?
To be honest, I don't really give a fuck about them pussies. You feel me? They gonna have their day of reckoning regardless, whether it be that way or however the judge may decide. So it is what it is with that situation. You feel me? I don't want to really speak on them because, you feel me, I don't really know on tit for tat what happened during that, but the individuals that are responsible, I just hope that justice does get served on their behalf of that. You feel me?
Yeah, man, fuck them dudes. Yeah. Straight up. Straight up. And just to to think how many lives are lost and ruined and families affected and everything over an amount of money that really is not even that much. You know, what are they trying to rob him for? What are you, like 10 grand on him or something? Like, it was just.
I don't really know the disclosed amount.
Yeah.
Just an
You
amount of
feel me?
money
They just
that
say
ain't
the
worth
numbers.
nothing.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's really nothing because there ain't no value over an individual like that about some money. You feel me? That shit really petty.
Yeah.
You feel me? My dude was bigger than that. You feel me? He had much more life and much more things to, you know, give out to the universe and to the people, you know, and to his fans, really, because he saved a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And his music is going to continue to save a lot of kids.
When you heard the joke from the comedian Dinah Hashem, you know, about the Venmo joke.
I fucking snapped. And I took charge, and that's the reason why I think I'm shadow banned now from the internet, because I really handed it to her as it showed her my power, and I showed them my power. But it's like, damn, y'all steady at a cadence to picking on, you feel me, my dog, like, you feel me, like, why y'all using that energy? That shit ain't gonna do nothing but backfire, because you gotta deal with individuals like me, and not only me, a lot of motherfuckers who thinking like me. You feel what I'm saying? So when you got a voice like me, and you on some bullshit, I'm gonna address it. And especially when a person who can't even defend themselves, like, bitch, who are you? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Comedy Central, y'all been on that bullshit, but I understand, and you feel me, like, how hostile, you know, comedy is. But at the end of the day, like, I feel as if you don't talk about death. Like, you don't feel me, you don't talk about nobody who lost their life in an untimely manner. Like, that's rude. Like, that's disrespectful. Not only to the peers, but his family. Like, that shit sucks, and I'm glad, you know, they did what they did.
Yeah, I mean, they pulled, Comedy Central pulled it.
They pulled her shit.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Fuck her. Like I said, fuck everybody that support her. And that's just how I feel, you feel me?
Yeah.
Straight up. And anybody that support that bullshit, you just know better than her.